whatsoever. I ain't got time for that. I'm a professional. Today's podcast is going to be speaking specifically about safe sleeping practices with parents and daycare providers with infants. We must discuss this. SIDS is real. Sudden Infant Death Syndrome is real. And unfortunately, the numbers are very, very high due to a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is because of how the children are sleeping. There should be nothing in the bed with the baby. Nothing. Marketing at all of these companies and, different entities that are out there with the cute little, blanket, with the comforter, with the matching dust ruffle. These things are not safe for a baby to have in their crib. Not at all whatsoever. There shouldn't be that cute little pillow in there. No. There should be nothing in the bed with the baby except for the baby. If you're going to use a pacifier, which is recommended, it reduces the risk of SIDS because the children are sucking, It can't be on the cute, they have the cute little pacifier holders. Can't have it on that at all whatsoever because those things can get wrapped around the neck. When you go to the hospital and, you're leaving out, there needs to be a conversation, with safe sleep practices at home. These things need to be discussed and talked about. Just because something looks good doesn't mean that it is good. And they make it so inviting for us to want, we want this theme in the room. So they're going to make sure that you have everything that goes with that theme. But at the end of the day, forget that theme. Okay? If you're going to have it, don't have it inside the bed. That's what I'm saying. Parents, we try to do the best that we can for our children. And a lot of times, there are errors that are made that could have been preventable, but it's through lack of knowledge. So I'm here just to give you a little bit of knowledge about what I learned the other day. Being a family childcare provider, we have the state that comes out and they do unannounced visits like every 1 or 2 years. Well, my visit was the other day. So my analyst came unannounced. Of course, I passed. Yay, we're flying colors here. But, we discussed some things. She was giving me some information about safe sleep. And so I know that we're not allowed to have anything in the playpen, that there can't be a pacifier, keep or anything like that. But parents don't know this, when they come home from the hospital. So her and I had that discussion, as well as keeping a child on their back. Keep them on their back. That is the safest place for them to be. I understand they may feel more comfortable on their stomach, but they are infants. It is up to us to make sure that we teach and train them how this should go. Swaddle them. I was told that in daycare now, in family daycare, we cannot use a swaddle that constricts the arms. So they have the swaddles where the arms are up. My grandson likes that one. He's 4 months old. So we use that one with him. But in family daycare, we can't use a swaddle. We can't use a blanket to swaddle. In a hospital, you're taught all those things. Everywhere you go, Target, Walmart, Macy's, wherever you go, they're teaching you and they're selling these things on how to swaddle, when that is a risk factor as well, especially in family daycare. No provider wants to make that phone call or have a child pass away at their facility. Devastating. I can't even imagine. Devastating on all ends, especially if it's something like SIDS. That's no one's fault, but it just happened. So we have to be very cautious and mindful of following the regulations as family daycare providers. We have to follow the regulations. We have to abide by the laws, because if not, it will affect our lives and possibly affect our parents' lives as well as the child. I am so just in shock about parents that, definitely put all these things in the bed, stuffed animals and things like that. No. What if the baby rolls over? What if the baby, rolls over, they can't lift up their head and then they get stuck underneath the bumper? These are things that in daycare we cannot have. So if we can't have them in daycare, they don't need to be able to be had at home either. Most accidents do happen at home. The wedges that you can put the baby on, we're not allowed to have those in family child care either. So providers, I hope you're not using a wedge because the children can roll over, they can fall off, they can hit their anything. We're not allowed to use that at all. They have wedges everywhere. I've been in Target, I've been in Walmart, you can go on Amazon. They promote these things, and you don't always know whether or not they're the best thing for your child. So I say research. Do your research. Absolutely do some research here, because parenting, it's pretty much OJT. There are some things that are out there that we're taught that we know. I was watching the news the other day, and it was showing where a little girl, her parents had bought a car seat, a booster car seat, a booster with the back, and the child, they were in a car accident, and the little girl became, paralyzed from the neck down. Her life will never be the same. She's on a breathing machine. She can't even breathe on her own. How devastating. And come to find out that the car seat wasn't safe for her age. And this company knew it, but still promoted it. And as a parent, they bought it because they thought it was, the right car seat, booster seat for their child. And it wasn't. Devastating. Do your own research before you purchase something for your child. No one wants to be devastated like that. And my heart just goes out to that family. I'm still shaken up about that. Because one of my grandsons is at the age where he's ready for a booster seat. I'm like, you're going to be in this car seat forever, right here, because you just don't know. So when it comes to safe sleep, providers, check the laws in your state to see what they are as far as safe sleeping practices for infants. Please do. And always, always, always watch the babies. Watch the babies. I'm just saying, when my grandson, he's 4 months old, he's been asleep for a while. I walk by, I'll touch his chest, make sure he's breathing. He has a pacifier, so I'll see if he's sucking. I may rub his feet to see if I get a little pullback reaction. We have to cover ourselves. You can't just be like, oh, good, this baby been asleep for 2-3 hours. No, it's time for you to wake up. No, come on here. You need to eat. It's been about 3 hours. It's time to get up. And there's nothing wrong with waking a baby up when you see them kind of moving and you know they're about to wake up. Wake them up. Let them see your smiling face. Let them feel your love. Let them hear the soft, kind words coming out of your mouths. Teach your child to wake up happy. Don't just let the child wake up and then no one's there and then they start screaming. I believe babies learn to cry. Of course they're going to cry. But I believe that they learn to cry to get your attention because they had to get it. Each child is different, I will say. But I know from experience, and I've been doing this a while now, I know from experience that if you wake a child up and you give them hugs and a love, 9 times out of 10, they're going to receive it and they're going to be happy. They're going to give you a smile back because all they do is mimic everything that we do to them. So if they see a smile in you, then they're going to smile back at you. Or if you give them a tight hug, they just can feel the love. I mean, what a wonderful way to wake up. So, I was just really in shock about just all the things that we cannot have. In daycare, we can't have walkers, we can't have exercises, we can't have swings. Anything that rocks, roll, bounces, or that's fun, we can't have. We have the floor. So tummy time is a really good thing to help aid in the prevention of SIDS too, because the children are building up their strength, building up their inner core, building up their back, building up their necks. So those are things that will help them, learn to roll over completely. When your child is in daycare, you need to make sure that they are getting the proper care. They are getting that tummy time. They're getting that stimulation, that one-on-one time that they need. They're being read to. They're being singing going on with them. Someone's singing to them. I'm not the best singer, but I do sing to the children, These are things that make a difference. They make a difference in a child's life and in the day that they're having at daycare. We have to be so proactive in daycare. Another thing that needs to be discussed also is diaper changing. We got to talk about this diaper changing. Let me tell you, I have so many clients that have been with me over the years. And some are happy about the number of diapers that we change and some are not. I don't believe in any child being wet or soiled for any length of time at all whatsoever. We change diapers every hour here at the daycare. And if we need to, every 30 minutes. It just depends. You could change a baby and next thing you know, he's wet again. Then that diaper needs to be changed. Diaper changing is so essential because who wants to be wet? Who wants to be soiled? Who wants to have a rash? How uncomfortable is that? So I use a barrier in my daycare. I use Target has or Walmart, has the Desitin or the A&D ointment. So I use the A&D ointment. I just squirt it. I get the one in the tube. I just squirt a little bit in the diaper. Don't rub it in. It'll melt. Close that diaper up and there you go. So that's being proactive so that a child won't get a diaper rash. Sometimes they do, but for the most part, if you're changing diapers all the time, they're not going to get a diaper rash. Typically, a diaper rash will come from them not being changed properly or them having maybe an antibiotic and it kind of irritated them. Things like that. I have a little boy who he can't eat beans. Anytime he eat beans, he would get a rash. So we figured that out. Never thought it was that, but that, after just going back and forth with the mom and us trying to figure out what it could be, it was only when he ate beans. And so we don't give him beans anymore. We give him something else when we're having that. As a provider, our jobs are just so valuable, to our parents, to the children, to our community. We could never get paid enough for what we do because we're the mother. We're the daycare, we're the auntie, we're the doctor, we're the nurse, sometimes we're the lawyer, we're the gardener. I mean, we wear so many hats. We're the baker. We fix the food. We're the cook. I mean, so many hats that we wear on a daily basis. And we do this because we love children and we want them to be the best that they can be. So, I want everyone to really listen to what I had to say about safe sleeping practices. Please check with your licensing agency to see what the laws are in your state, in your city, in your country, what they are about this. In California, nothing is in the bed. Nothing is in the bed but the child. That's it. I always want to do a shout out. You all know I love Melissa and Doug. I was in Home Goods today and their Melissa and Doug section there, and that's just what I call it, their toy section, was just amazing. Go to your local home goods store. Let me tell you, if you're out this way, I'm not sure about any other states, if you all have Home Goods, but if you have a Burlington or a TJ Maxx, or Marshalls, they're all pretty much like the same type, family, whatnot. But Home Goods is just amazing. And as providers, things can get a little expensive. Home Goods has really good rates for a lot of things. You will find all kinds of things in there, especially books. Books. You can never have enough books. That's how I feel about it. So check out your local Home Goods. And step 2 is running some really good promotions right now on their website as well. So check out step 2. Check out your local Home Goods store or Marshalls or TJ Maxx, Burlington as well. So check them out to see what type of deals that they're having right now. Summer is going to be upon us before we know it. And we want our children to have the best times in our yards, in our homes, in the summer. I'm in California, so we're outside all the time. But in the summertime, oh my goodness, so much fun outside. So much fun outside. Absolutely. And I try to do like a different setup at least 3 times a week for the children. They like to see different things too. So start shopping, getting your summer stuff ready, and when you're ready to put it out, it's going to be like it's a brand new daycare to them. Trust me, they are going to love it. They are absolutely going to love it. At this point, I would love to do a healthy snack tip. You all know how I feel about my healthy snacks. I have this cookbook, and I looked, and it is on Amazon. It's called Silly Snacks and Classroom Treats. And one of the healthy snacks that we had this week was a cereal trail mix. Okay? A cereal trail mix. I just took some little multigrain cereal squares, some little Cheerios, some little Goldfish, little small pretzels, some raisins, and I dried bananas in my dehydrator. So I put some little thin dried banana chips in there. OMG, you talk about good. And gave them a little cup of milk. Let me tell you, they had a wonderful time. So go on Amazon, order the book. It's $8.97, Silly Snacks and Classroom Treats. And there's some good stuff in there, some holiday stuff, for all the different holidays or whatnot. But it's a really, really cute cookbook with some really good, healthy snack recipes in there. So check out Silly Snacks and Classroom Treats. And also, there's a company out here called The Excellent Breakfast Company. Check her out. Amazing. If you have a child that may be on the spectrum, or if you have a child that has food allergies, a child who may have like behavioral issues, a lot of times it's what we're feeding them. So check out The Excellent Breakfast Company. Check her out and see what she has. She has some really good things there. It's all about what we feed our children, what we're putting in their bodies, that sometimes gives them adverse reactions to things. Absolutely. I want to say that April the 25th, Miss Tanya will be at the CAAEYC convention in Pasadena, California, from 8 to 9:30, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. I know it's early, but listen, I want to see y'all. I want to see y'all there. I am doing a workshop, Daycare Chronicles 101, relationships between parents and providers. And we are going to have a fun time. This is going to be an interactive workshop. We're not just sitting there listening to Miss Tanya talk. We are going to be playing games. We're going to be doing raffles. We're going to be doing skits. We're going to have a wonderful time. Let everyone you know. The conference is from April 23rd through the 25th. So come on out. Have a wonderful time. Come to Daycare Chronicles 101 workshop. 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. It's an hour and a half. So we have an hour and a half to have a wonderful time. Absolutely. And I am looking forward to seeing so many of you there. I will have my book there. We are going to just have a wonderful time. I am just so excited about this wonderful opportunity that I have come upon to be able to share even more information. You know, I had a meeting with Crystal Stairs, which is our resource and referral agency, 2 weeks ago about my book. And my conversation with them was, you know, licensing will give you a license to become a daycare provider. Crystal Stairs and other agencies will give you a contract for resource and referral to be able to, you know, keep state-funded children. No one prepares you for the day-to-day. No one prepares you for the things that may come up on a daily basis in family daycare. No one does that. Miss Tanya's doing that. I'm sharing my 29 years worth of experience. Any incident that you probably had, I have had too. And some of them are in my book. I do a chronicle every day on Instagram. Well, Monday through Friday, I typically do a chronicle every morning on Instagram. I'm doing skits now, so you'll be able to view the skits on actually Instagram and YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I want to keep this going. I am reaching so many, you know, providers out here, and we all have the same issues, the same stories. We all are relatable to one another. And sometimes being a daycare provider can be very, very solitary. Because you're at home all day, especially if you don't have an assistant. You're at home all day. It's just you. It's just the children. And it's just like, you know, it can become pretty lonely at times. You need some adult interaction. And then you may have an issue that comes up and you're not really connecting with other providers. And it's like, what do I do? Like, how do I handle this? It's okay not to know because it's about trial and error and OJT, on the job training. So I want to build this network where we can reach out to one another, where I can write something or say something, or another provider could write it or say something. Oh, in the Facebook group. I have a Facebook group, Daycare Chronicles 101. Join the Facebook group. You can post anything on there relating to daycare. You can ask any question relating to daycare. Let's keep it clean. And someone will respond. I'm not always the one to respond. It's other providers. I love this platform because we get to learn from one another. This is just a wonderful thing to be able to network with other providers, to share knowledge, wisdom, to get knowledge and wisdom, and to be amongst your peers. Family daycare, we are the first ones that a child has interaction with. 9 times out of 10, you're going to family daycare before you go to preschool. When your mom has to go back to work, you're going to daycare. And with that being said, I am seeing, and I know you all are too, so many more children than usual coming into daycare, and they are on the spectrum. We must say something. We must address it in a very, very compassionate, loving way. And if you're wrong, okay, you're wrong. It's okay. But what if you're right? What if you're right and this child needs some help? And we know, we can tell, we see the children, we see how the other children are. So if there's a difference there, not saying that we're always right, but for the most part, if we say we see something, there's a little something there. You know what I'm saying? There may be something there. There's nothing wrong with going and getting it checked out. Providers, we must not be all about the money. I know we all want to, make a living or whatnot, but at the end of the day, why would you not tell a parent something that they needed to know about their child with being afraid that they may pull the child out or that the child may have to leave your program because they do take them and they see that there is something there and they may want them to go to a different program? We have to do what's best for the children. We must. We are their voice. We work right along with the parents. And sometimes the parents just don't see it, and it's up to us to let them know. I did a podcast on that with Miss Equal from the Regional Center. Please go back and listen to that. That podcast was so impactful, so powerful, and it just explains a lot more than what I'm going into right here, right now. But I really wanted to talk about the safe sleep. So please, 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 providers, do your research, because we want all of the children to be safe, to be healthy, and we need to know what we need to do, and the parents need to know what they need to do. So you know what our toughest job is? Not caring for the baby, educating the parent. Educating the parent, that is the toughest job right there. So it's our duty. It's all about presentation, how we present it to them. And you never want a mother to feel like she doesn't know what she's doing. My daughter told me that about myself, so I'm talking to me right now. Oh my goodness, with the first grandson. It's just a mother, auntie, grandmother, and me. That's all that it is. But with our parents, we have to handle them very carefully because we don't want to hurt their feelings. But at the same time, our number one responsibility is the care of the child. And we have to tell them what to do at home as well, because we don't want to get a phone call from them saying the baby's no longer here. And it could have been something that was preventable that we knew and we didn't share. So we must share the information that we get with our parents. We must take that extra step. It's okay. It's just a few more seconds at the door. Okay? I love y'all. I thank you for listening to the podcast. I pray that I have said something that you're able to learn from, that you can take back and share with someone else. Miss Tanya is, trying to really have Daycare Chronicles to where we can really just reach every provider globally. And that's happening. That is happening. I'm letting you know. Lagos, Nigeria sent me a DM the other day. Ghana sent me a DM the other day. United Kingdom. This is just amazing. So just to know the different laws in the different countries and the states, that's so interesting as well. And those are things that I'm going to be sharing with you all, my listeners. Remember, if you don't want to be a chronicle, don't do it. Not at all whatsoever. I ain't got time for that. I'm a professional.